Hello, everybody. Today we have Alecia, aka the Energy Queen, on this call. Hello, Alecia. I hope you're doing well.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
So
Partly
today,
due to you.
thank you. So today we are going to talk about your amazing result of having made 25,200, like 25,200 in sales and 11,000 in cash. It's all in US dollars within 10 days. And you're going to speak a little bit about yourself anyways, but what I really want to share with people here is Alecia did that with only 2 people, and part of her story is actually when she was a makeup artist, she was earning this amount of money on a yearly basis, and now she collapsed it all together in 10 days with only 2 clients, and this is phenomenal. So congrats on this result. And I have a few questions for you. So Alecia, did you ever have 25.2K in sales within 10 days from only 2 clients ever in your life before?
Never, honestly, never.
So tell me a little bit, like, how was it before with the sales? Like, were they unregular, or like how would you, just regarding sales and cash, like how would you run your business?
It was inconsistent and it was, I did it in a totally different way, which I think we're going to talk about a bit later. And so now, like, I always knew I was gonna make good money in my life, but for some reason it was never happening. And I was starting to feel bad about myself, and finally working with you, it's like, okay, this is all making sense now, and it's actually starting to work. Like, I get it. And that's amazing. It's amazing feeling.
Because you said, like, okay, I was not feeling well, or not feeling good before. Did you notice anything, like looking around? Oh, what are others doing? How can I do it better? Or this person must be doing something wrong. Like, did you find yourself in comparing mode with other coaches?
Of course. Like, I always looked around at other coaches and saw their shiny branding and their feminine energy. And like, I thought I just had to do that as well. But for me, I don't have a huge audience, so that I can't use that strategy because it doesn't work for me. And it did not work for me. I tried to do that for years, literally. I've been traveling the world with my partner and like running my business, but I didn't get those amazing results that I wanted.
So do you believe now you can, how should I say, because you have a desire, like, of what you want to make, yeah? So do you believe now you have like a quick track to being actually the match and creating this outcome?
I really do. It's like amazing. You really broke it down and simplified it for me. We made a strategy that is like simple, and it's really about empowerment and awareness for the other person as well, the one I want to serve. And that's an amazing feeling, honestly.
Perfect. So now we want to speak about where were you before you came to me? Just talk about, or let people know where you were, like circumstantially, like with your business, and also emotionally. Just like tell people more a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I was coming out of a huge dark night of the soul. I just finished my Saturn's return. And if people don't know what that is, it's like kind of when you're turning 30, you go through this huge awakening, which is pretty painful for most people. Really having to look at myself. And so coming out of that, I really pushed everything and everyone away from me. And so my results were very low and my confidence was very low, and I just really felt like an empty shell of a being. I was just exhausted, tired, sad, dark, like really in a bad place. And then I knew, I was like, hey, I need to invest in myself, and I know I can really provide an amazing transformation for people, but I need help. I don't want to do it like I was before. especially now that I'm 30, it's like I'm ready to rock it. I'm ready to live in that abundance that I always saw for myself. And so when I found you, I was like, this is the best option. Like, I'm so ready.
Yes, I mean, your results is proving that, yeah, because you kept the time around like doing this in 1 year and now doing it in 10 days, yeah. And this is just this is just the beginning, yeah. So if you would compare like where you were before and where you are now, like what has changed for you, the way how you actually operate in your business, how you work with your clients. And I believe even your clients do now get like really great and quick results, yeah. And also how you transformed emotionally, because yes, we can grow as much as we want in business and in money, but there is always emotional growth attached to it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So before in my business, I was really only doing the energetics and the mindset stuff. And I would get my clients pretty cool results, like, you know, more physical, personal life stuff, like find your dream partner, get pregnant, like heal from trauma, which was really profound. But I always knew I was meant to help women with the wealth side of stuff as well. And for some reason, it just like wasn't working. And, you know, I'd get them pretty good results, but not like astounding results like I really desired to bring for them. And so now that I'm working with you, I'm really connecting to another part of myself that is my true gift, which is the strategics and the sales stuff, which I was really denying, avoiding, like resisting for so many years. Kind of coming back to seeing all these other online gurus, you know, oh, just high vibe, feel good. You'll attract the right clients kind of energy, right? And so I listened to that, but it was just causing me to not win in the way I really wanted to, right? So now working with you, it's like I have the energetics, but also the strategic side, really combining those two.
So basically, I'm pretty sure many people can relate to this, because you did all the alignment, you did all the feeling part, you did all the energetic part. Did this specifically bring you 25.2K in sales in 10 days? Yes or no?
No, I honestly have stacks and stacks of journals. We were laughing about this on our previous coaching call, where it's like writing in all these journals what all the money I'm going to make and how good it's going to feel and what I'm going to be doing. And it's like, it never happened. And then working with you, I probably journaled like, you know, 5-10 pages in the last 6 weeks and made way better results than ever before. It's like, I don't need to journal anymore.
Well, I mean, journaling, I do it myself, like when emotional stuff comes up, but not in order to create results.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just mentioned it like a little bit in the previous question. So what did you believe specifically what your gifts were before the two of us working together?
So before, kind of like I mentioned, it was all energetics, and it's really about that alignment work, embodiment stuff. But yeah, it was just not with the strategic on top of it. And what I realized actually yesterday was like, even if you think you're not running a strategy, you're running a strategy, and that's going to come from your subconscious mind, which is probably going to be at the lowest echelon of what's possible for you. So now it's like we're consciously creating strategies that really empower the client so they can get those amazing results.
It can be, because you worded it very well. You can be running the strategy of avoidance, or you can be running the strategy of like really implementing your entire gift set, and also the gifts are the part of the genius. Yeah. So how did you do the offer creation, for instance, in your business before? How were you creating offers? Was it downloads? Did you do launching? Just like let people know how you run your business before.
So I always knew and wanted to be like a high ticket coach, but I was scared, right? So what I would do is be in that launch mode, create a new curriculum, a new program every 3 weeks, make the shiny graphics, like put it out there, you know, selling all day on stories, on Facebook, on everywhere possible, right? And I was really coming from like this like one-to-many thing where it's like $200, like $99, 444, you know, the angel numbers.
Very common in the industry, yes.
It's so common, and now I see it and I'm just kind of chuckle to myself, you know, no judgment. It's just a thing that we do because it's this mentality, oh, they're doing it, so I should do it. But it never brought me the results that I desired.
Did you believe when you did, like, how did you actually create the offers? Was it like downloads, or was it just there, or were you kind of like sneak peeking what others are doing?
It was around a download, like something I would be inspired about. If I was moving through something, I'd be like, ooh. And then I'm really good at naming conventions. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I would make like the coolest name ever with the most amazing tagline and be like, yes, this is the one that's going to make me. I'm going to be rich and famous after this one, right? And then it's like, no.
So basically, you attracted like the crickets, yeah?
Yeah.
So because I am going to create a live stream of like the downloads, why they do not work, yeah? So this is actually really good that you mentioned this in here, because it's going to be one of my next ones. So how were you taught like marketing before, like, because you put out content? I could see like before we worked together, you basically posted, I believe it was Facebook and it was Instagram, and like on a very regular basis. So how were you taught marketing before?
Oh man. So yeah, I was a little backstory. Like I've been traveling with my partner for over 6 years now. And I really ran my business almost kind of like a travel influencer in a sense, where it's like sharing my stories and always showing up and going to beautiful places, taking photos. And like that became a huge part of my job, even though it wasn't actually providing the income that I desired. So I thought that was the way I was going to make the money that I wanted and empower the people like I knew that I could. And so it was like constant, just more and more content. Oh, if I'm not getting the results, put more content out. Like, and it became just like almost like a prison or a hamster wheel, the online hamster wheel, right?
Was it basically share your story?
Yeah, share my story, be vulnerable, you know,
Inspire others.
inspire others, motivate them, really give all of your value away for free, and they'll come back to you and pay, like this kind of mentality.
So basically,
So build that know, like, trust factor.
Oh yes.
That's a huge one.
So basically, this is like a very good example.
It's very friend zone. This is something that we talked about. It was very much like friend zone content.
Yeah, and this is why the content is not converting. Why? Because there is no uniqueness there. Same goes with the offers, yeah? When you did like the downloads before, did you ever have the feeling, oh my gosh, my program is like so special that it would speak to the people by itself, basically? Like,
yeah.
Did you ever have this feeling that this happened before, or is this happening now?
Well, that happened before, where I was like, you know, this is the one, like this program is amazing, everyone's gonna get it, but then like only a few did, you know?
Yeah, but then like it was not converting, because this is what the common, how should I say? I don't know about you, but I heard it a lot of the times. You gotta have like the download needs to turn you on, yeah, this kind of mentality. And then you have like this download that keeps you awake the entire night, and you're so excited, you cannot wait to launch it, and then no one signs up, yeah? So there is actually, this is an indication of, like as I said, this is why downloads don't work, because there is a very, very crucial part missing, and we are going to go into this right now, because I want to explain to people how we two work together. So basically, when you came to me, you had a different perception of what your gifts were, and also what your genius concerns, yeah? And basically what I did for Alecia was like, I really gave her the awareness of her true gifts, yeah? And she has a super strong laser focus, especially when it comes to offers. What I mean by that, she has the amazing ability of like really knowing, like because she has a strong ability in like knowing things, yeah. So she knows exactly what if you bring her an offer, then she says like, okay, this needs to go, this needs to be added on, and this we tweak a little bit, and this is why it makes you the perfect offer for the person, yeah. And this is what you actually did for your client who had like the 5K sale within 5 days, yeah, because she came to you, and she didn't know what her offer, she had the offer, but she didn't know how the offer would work for her, yeah. So basically this is what we did, like Alecia became very aware of like, oh, I'm actually denying these parts of my gifts, yeah. So we added this in, and we also started training your intuition around that, yeah. And this is when we do these things of like really, where are your gifts, what is your genius, and then like really train your intuition on that. This is when the sales happen like this, and you collapse the time from like 1 year into 10 days, yeah. So basically the outcome is you do now sales like no one else, and you create offer with people like no one else, because you have this gift of like really laser focusing down an offer into an offer that sells for this person. So and also another great part is you don't have to post more, yeah, you don't have to launch more. And also, sorry, this is my dog in the back.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and also you are not speaking anymore like to the wrong audience, yeah, because if you compare your audience to before and now, how did that switch?
Before, like I was saying, I was really in that travel, like influencer kind of mode. So I was talking to everybody. When you do that, you're really talking to nobody. So I was really not an audience of soul aligned people. And now that we're working together, I'm really building this beautiful audience of women who are super aligned and super like minded and like really resonate. So it's amazing.
So I'm gonna have a little question here. You were not aware of this before because you kind of wanted to speak to everyone, yeah? And I believe you know where this is going, yeah? Because like there was a pattern active and you didn't know about that pattern that was actually active. This is why you tried to speak to everyone so that you could serve everyone, yeah? And also this pattern is like, well, it's about like almost everyone has it, yeah. So it's about the people pleasing. This is what people actually do when they say, for instance, I'm giving you an example. For instance, when they have one-on-one offers and then they say like, okay, now I'm gonna what's the English word? I'm gonna put the price down to like 50% so that more people can afford me. This is people pleasing. This is a pattern that is going on, yeah. And when you are actually in your, I like to call it the queen power with you because it is your queen power. When you really stand in that queen power of like being aware of your gifts, being aware of your genius, what is happening is there are new people coming in and they are ready to pay you in full 5 figures. They ask you rather than you posting, launching, posting more, speaking to more, inspiring more, whatnot. Yeah. So, and because of you being in that space of really that awareness of what your gifts are and why they are so special. Yeah. Also, what would you say when it comes to the rapport?
Well, we touched on this before. It's like that friend zone space, people pleasing friend zone space. It's like, oh, please like me, like that kind of vibe. And I never knew how to show up in authority because it felt pushy to me. It felt forceful. I felt like misaligned with it, right? And I just didn't know how to do it. But you really showed me that it can be beautiful and it can be empowering, and it's actually better for everyone to show up in authority instead of this people-pleasing friend zone space.
It's not only empowering for other people, it's also empowering for you. Yeah. So basically we have a win-win situation there, like because
Yeah.
we all get to rise. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
When you did the content before, I'm not quite sure if we touched on that, but when you shared like all this friend zone content and you would be like, oh, DM me, I've only got 2 spots left. Like, would you do that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so the way I created my stuff for a long time was like wake up in the morning, write a long form piece of content, and then at the bottom put my PS with a call to action, like whether it was a program I had or one-to-one spots, like comment here or DM me now, like cart closing or 2 spots left. Yeah, this kind of stuff.
Yeah, so you were also taught of like, okay, keep the time frame short and make it short, make everything short, because then people will have a need to buy it. When in fact,
scarcity, yeah, put the scarcity on it. It's like that marketing thing.
Yeah, when in fact, do you have the feeling, okay, this is actually necessary?
I did it because that's what I was taught from other coaches, but I always felt like it wasn't the best way to show up. I just didn't know any other way. I didn't know how to do it another way.
Yeah. So, but let me tell you, it's not necessary.
No, it's absolutely not necessary. And it always felt like I did it because it's what I was taught. And I always felt like, oh, there must be a better way. Like, what is it? Yeah.
Yeah. And also when it comes to sales, because sales is actually one of your special skills. Yeah. So tell me about that gift. Were you using it before? Were you even aware that it is one of your gifts? And also, when you were using it, how were you using it? Or if you said like, no, I didn't use it, why?
So it's funny that you asked that, because like growing up, I was so good at like persuading people and like, getting them to closing them on a sale, whether it wasn't like money related. I was a kid. I was like, let's go here. And then my whole family would be like, no. And I'd be like, yes, this is why. And then we would go there, like I was so good at that. And then when I got into business for myself, doing my coaching work, it was like selling this invisible thing became so hard for me. And I like totally denied this part of myself. Then I shut it down. I rejected it. And I was like, no, like stay down here. Like we don't need you anymore.
This direction.
Yeah. And I avoided it, right, for so many years. And I would maybe do a sales call, but I would like bomb it, or it would be all about me instead of really serving them. And then I just started selling through DMs, but there was a ceiling on that as well. And it was just a struggle. And I always knew I was good at it, but I denied this part of myself for so long.
Were you even aware that you were denying that?
I think I was aware of it, but on a deeper level, or on like a surface level, I was like, I want to be like all the other coaches who don't do sales calls and make all the hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, and this kind of sales process. Let the universe do sales for me, So yeah, that's where I was at.
Yeah, I mean, there is nothing wrong with like saying, okay, I'm making 100K a month. Yes, because why not? Yeah, because everyone has goals, and yes, abundance is for everyone. So but what most people oversee or overlook is these people, they built a huge audience. These people, they have maybe Facebook ads. These people, they have huge Facebook groups, whatnot. Yeah, and it just takes time to build such a community. So when in fact there is a different way. So
exactly.
How would you say, or what would you say is your biggest moment as of now, because we are not done yet? What is your biggest moment so far with me, working together with me?
I think the biggest moment is really getting an ROI in 10 days of working with you. Like that's been amazing. And that's never happened with any other coach in the past. So it's a big one.
But you see, like, because I really want to point this out here. Money is the byproduct, yeah. So, but how should I say? Because of combining it all together, this is why this works so quickly, yeah. So, also, how would you say is our collaboration different than with all the other coaches you've worked before? Because you did have coaches before.
Yeah, before I would even have like multiple coaches at one time in multiple programs, like, and for me, I'm like a projector in human design, and like that actually became a disservice, but I didn't realize it at the time. Absorbing so many people's different energies and different strategies, and then it would confuse me about what do I do with all of this, right? And so working with you now, I don't have any other coaches, it's just you and me, and we go super deep together. And you really helped me. Like actually, two of my biggest like patterns were really this fear of failure and fear of abandonment stuff. And that created the people pleasing and all of this other stuff. And you really helped me like super quickly, like assess this, point it out, and then really work on elevating through it instead of trying to go around it and just reframe, alignment, embodiment. It's like, no, we're going through it. And I really feel it transforming in like a way that will impact me for the rest of my life, which is incredible.
Because the quickest way why you cannot do it with only journaling or like really navigating emotional like around it, because the brain needs proof, yeah. And how can you deliver the proof? When you do the action, then every single pattern, it's like pressing a button, and then every single pattern shows itself, yeah. So
yeah,
this is actually,
that's happening.
Yeah, this is actually the great part about this work, because in the doing you find all the patterns, yeah, and it all needs to go together, yeah. So now that we created this amazing result, I'm pretty damn sure we're going to create even bigger results, because with your genius and your gifts, it's never gonna be stagnant, yeah. It's gonna evolve, and also we are gonna add even more into it, because the more you grow, the bigger is like, actually, how should I say, the bigger your genius and the gifts become. Because one last thing I want to mention here, if you look at your own intuition, yeah, once you were really aware of what is the speciality or the special thing about my gifts, yeah, and even like including the denied gifts, yeah, and then training your intuition on that, how would you say has your intuition changed ever since, if you compare it to before?
So before, I was really, my intuition was trained for trauma healing and energy work. So I would be able to see, you know, what the problem was or what the block was, or like what needed to shift, like this kind of stuff. And now I can tune into that, but I'm seeing something even greater, which is like, what is their power? What is their genius? What is really great about them? And what's their strengths, instead of seeing what they need to fix, right? So now I'm really seeing them as like they're in their wholeness and in their power, and I can point it out and like verbalize it much faster now, and it's like super cool, honestly. Now I'm just on the street like doing it in my mind, like seeing how amazing people are.
And also like the amazing gift, because if we go back to your client, she came to you with an existing offer, yeah. But then you kind of like, with your laser focus and your intuition, you needed you knew exactly what needs to be done with this offer so that it would sell, yeah. And she did it in 5 days. So even
she was coming from a job. She made 4 to 5K a month in a job, and then she had all these little one-off services before as like a writing person, like, oh, I'll write your resume, I'll write your cover letter. And I'm like, you're not going to build wealth that way. You need a stable offer. And so after one session, we reworked everything, and she made that 5K sale right after. Like, it's amazing.
And this is amazing, because your intuition, like now, gets to operate like on multiple levels. And this is why it's like so very accurate. And this is why even your delivery, like your clients get to have amazing results with you. So,
Yeah.
Alecia, congrats on your achievement.
Thank
I'm
you.
definitely celebrating you. I hope everyone is celebrating with us. And
Uh,
here is to more to come. Yeah. So we are gonna celebrate even more in the future. I'm very, very proud of what you have done, and let's continue this amazing journey.
thank you so much. It's been
Thank you.
amazing. We're the
Thank
dream
you.
team. Woo!